Week 4, Video Observation Journal Number 2. This week's observation journal requires us to reflect on EVPs that were discussed in the provided IRIS module. I will provide the EVPs that I am familiar with and the ones that are new to me. I will discuss which EVPs I would be interested in learning more about and why. Lastly, I will provide my thoughts regarding Faces of Autism and what resonated with me. Which EVPs am I familiar with, if any? Well, some evidence-based practices, EVPs, that I am most familiar with and use within my classroom are antecedent-based interventions, which is ABI, neutralistic interventions, NI, self-management, SM, cognitive behavioral intervention, CBI, differential reinforcement, DR, social skills training, SST, picture exchange communication systems, PECS, PECS, pivotal response training, PRT, functional communication training, FCT, and visual supports, VS. ABI can be used to decrease an identified interfering behavior and increase engagement by modifying the environment. This is where the teacher makes sure that the environment where the student's education takes place is appropriate in its entirety. The environment is stimuli-free, age-appropriate, safe, and functional in order to meet the student's needs. NI consists of applying principles of applied behavior analysis during a learner's everyday routines and activities in order to increase a target behavior or decrease an interfering behavior. These practices include the child's environment, the arrangement of that environment, how the child interacts within that environment, and with the people within it. The individualized strategies that are based on applied behavior analysis principles. SM teaches learners with ASD to discriminate between appropriate and inappropriate behaviors, accurately monitor and record their own behaviors, and reward themselves for appropriate behavior or use of skill. This is where teachers and parents teach children with ASD strategies so that they can take an active part in their own behavior management. CBI teaches learners to examine their own thoughts and emotions, recognize when negative thoughts and emotions are escalating in intensity, and then use strategies to change their thinking and behavior. CBI is often used with children who display problem behaviors that are related to specific emotions or feelings, such as anger or anxiety. CBI is usually combined with other EVPs for maximum benefit. DR is an application of reinforcement designed to reduce the occurrence of interfering behaviors. This is where teachers collect data on the antecedent behavior and the consequence. Once the undesired behavior and antecedent is recognized, a replacement behavior that is functionally similar that students already know can be implemented. Example, a behavior that will serve the same functions for the child, such as saying, "Help, please," instead of grunting, or reinforcing appropriate language to replace swearing. SST is any adult-directed instruction in which social skills are targeted for improvement. This is where teachers model, teach, and reinforce appropriate social skills at appropriate times. Eye contact with others during conversations, smiling or making eye contact when greeting people, shaking hands when meeting someone, using the right tone and volume of voice within a room or the classroom. PECS, PECS, allows people with little or no communication abilities to communicate using pictures. People using PECS are taught to approach another person and give them a picture of a desired item in exchange for that item. By using PECS, those who have limited to no verbal skills can effectively communicate their needs and wants to others. This is especially beneficial within a classroom because without some sort of communication, the student would resort to some form of acting out in order to get their needs met. FCT is an approach to figure out why your child acts in a certain way. It uses a variety of techniques to understand what's behind inappropriate behaviors. FCT is one of the most common and effective interventions for severe behavior problems. First, teachers do an FBA, which identifies the function of the interfering behavior, then find the antecedent and consequence of the interfering behavior, and identify a replacement behavior as a substitute for the undesired behavior. Depending on the learner, the replacement behavior may be delivered through verbalizations or words, signs, gestures, pointing, and use of PECS or a speech-generating device. VS are concrete cues that provide information about an activity, routine, or expectation. They may also support skill demonstration. Visual supports can be photographs, drawings, objects, written words, or lists. VS is very similar to PECS. Which EVPs are new to me? EBPs that are new to me are exercise, modeling, prompting, scripting, and time delay. I stated previously that I was unaware that exercise was an EBP. I never knew that modeling was an EBP. I just thought it was a support or an action that teachers and staff do. We model what we want our children or students to do. I never knew that prompting was an EBP. I just thought it was a support or an action that teachers and staff do as well. I have never heard of scripting. I think this is an EBP that I would like to further investigate. Lastly, time delay. I never knew this was an EBP. Again, I just thought this was a support or action that teachers and staff did to help students process directions and information. Which EBPs would I be interested in learning more about and why? EBPs that I would be interested in learning more about are scripting, a verbal or written description about a specific skill or situation that serves as a model for the learner. Scripts are usually practiced repeatedly before the skill is used in the actual situation. And social narratives. Narratives that describe social situations in some detail by highlighting relevant cues and offering examples of appropriate responding. Social narratives are individualized according to the learner's needs and typically are quite short, perhaps including pictures and other visual aids. I am interested in these topics because they reflect and reinforce daily tasks and activities that those with ASD face. By using these EBPs, teachers are able to front-load the student and provide learning opportunities before they actually need to use the taught skill in real life. Now, my thoughts regarding Faces of Autism on page 8 of the module. My thoughts regarding Faces of Autism are that each parent truly knows their child. Each parent is passionate about their child, is passionate that their child have as normal life as possible by learning necessary skills to be successful. Each parent wants their child to be able to communicate their needs and wants effectively. And as a parent, I can empathize with them because all you truly want is for your child to be happy and as successful as they can possibly be. Lastly, what resonated with me? I think the one thing that truly resonated with me was the feeling you got from the parents' testimonials. All they want is for their child to be happy and function within society when they grow up.